Hello, everyone, and welcome to Escape Estate. We're going to be doing some amazing coding today in a digital escape room. And of course, we're super happy to be here. We have an action packed session all ready for you. Now, let's start meeting the team of who's joining you today. My name's Emma Cottier. I'm from Victoria, British Columbia, Canada, traditional territory of the West Sandwich people. I also have one of my favorite Minecrafters with me in the house.
Hi, everyone. Thanks, Emma. My name is Dan Noble. I'm part of the extended team here at the awesome Cobblestone Collective, and I am a Minecraft mentor, and I'm a Minecraft consultant and an education consultant as well. And I'm currently located in Dumfries, Scotland. My pronouns are he and him. And just if you're wondering about what the Cobblestone Collective is, so we are a team of current and former educators who support students, teachers, and school districts to effectively integrate technology to support learning through professional development, workshops, and co-taught lessons, just like this one.
Wow, thank you, Dan. And we are so honored to be here. I think we have we're the luckiest people in the world to be able to be a part of these sessions today. We have a very special lineup for you today, and this is our escape room. Number one, you are going to get to meet a Minecrafter today, and rumor has it they work for Xbox. Super cool. Number two, we're going to be checking out the green pathway today, and we are going to escape Dr. Breakowski's estate. And specifically, we're going to do Python coding. So just a heads up, some of our sessions might do blocks. This one is Python. And number three, we're going to have an opportunity to reflect on our adventure today, because let me tell you, we are going to do some really cool things today. So students, brace yourself. Now, teachers, just a reminder that you can pause and rewind the session anytime if you need to pause to get your students up and running. If you're just like, whoa, what was that really cool challenge that they did? Pause us, rewind us. This is YouTube Live, so you have the power to adjust the timing however you might like. Now, we have a big warning before we begin. You can see and hear us, but we can't see or hear you. But that's okay, because you can actually interact with us. We have a form. It's called the cc.page/Minecraft. Make sure you enter that in a new tab. Leave us on one tab, enter it in another one. And through that form, you'll be able to ask our Minecrafters some questions. You'll be able to let us know about the coding challenges, but first names only. Please don't enter your last names. We like to keep it nice and safe and respect that, digital safety of everyone. So we're only going to be using first names, and we probably won't address any specific classes, but you are always welcome to let us know where in the world you're joining us from, the first name, and start brewing up some questions. Now, the first question today we have for you: have you ever coded in Python before? Many of you might have done some block-based coding, which is awesome, but there is multiple ways of doing coding. Today in particular is the Python. So I can see a number of you are already in this form. We have a Caleb and a Rudolph and an Emmett and a Michael and a Remy. Thank you so much for joining us today. We have Kevin. He's like, no, I haven't done Python. And it's okay if you've never tried it before. I have to be honest, I'm not that very experienced with it, but I'm always game to learn. I know Dan will help me along today with the Python. And what I love about Minecraft EDU, and any one of these challenges, you can choose. So today the focus will, of course, be the Python. We have Miss Daniel's class joining us today. They've never coded in Python, but that's perfect. Thanks for joining us today. We are going to show you how to code in Python. It's good to be fluent in different coding languages. And if you haven't done block-based coding before, you are more than welcome to start with one of our lessons with that. And I do, under these videos in YouTube Live, we do have links to some of our other sessions. And because we're focusing specifically on the green pathway today with Python, if you do want to check out the red pathway or the yellow pathway, there are links to that as well as if you need help with any of the solutions today, Those links are available under the video in the YouTube live as well. So just a heads up, those resources are there for you. All right, so we have a mix. Like Dan, I'd say like we're 50-50 here. We have a number of students that have done Python and a few that haven't. Like Henry hasn't checked it out yet. And then we have Tori and Armin has not. So I love it. We have a bunch of people new to Python today and some that have tried it before. Now, students, who is ready to begin? It is time to meet our Minecrafter. So I would like to introduce Apurva Raman. Thanks for joining us today. Can you say hello to our amazing audience today?
Hi everyone, my name is Apurva, as Emma introduced me. I use she, her, and they, them pronouns, and I'm going to be a software engineer on Minecraft Education Edition, but as Emma hinted earlier, right now I'm over on the Xbox team.
Yeah, amazing. I'm sure there's so many students joining in today, and I'm sure the number one question they have, and it's already starting to come through on the form, is how have you come along a career in Xbox? Do you have any insider information for a number of those students joining? How might one get a dream job such as yours?
Oh, that's a great question. I think the best advice that I have is follow your passion. And if you're really excited about coding or gaming or the art in games, music in games, like really um go where your passions guide you. And I think that will let you find the path to end up at a place that you really, really love. And you get the opportunity to work on so many cool things. So that would be my biggest piece of advice there.
I love that advice and just the advice to follow your passions. You never know where you might end up. Now, Apurva, what was your like goal when you were in school? Like, what did you think you might do when you grew up?
Oh my goodness. So I thought a lot of different things. I thought, maybe I really liked reading and books, so I thought maybe I'll be an author. Um, I loved playing video games, so I really wanted to explore that side of it too. I loved both like the coding part and the art part, and I actually briefly went to art school before I went to decided to go into engineering. And I think it's okay to not know what you want to do right away. And what I found is that every time I chose something because I really wanted to do it, all of that added together. And what I really love about games and in gaming is it's the combination of so many different things and people with all different passions and interests and skills coming together to make something really cool. A lot of your favorite games and things are made by more than one person, and each person brings to the table their own unique set of skills and experiences.
Well, you're giving such great advice. We absolutely love it. We have a question from Case in here, and maybe I'll just pause. I do see a number of you in the forum that are experiencing like maybe some music in the background. That isn't connected to our live recording. So maybe just check the tabs of where it's being projected. You might have something accidentally playing at the same time. So just check that off. A question from Case in here is what is one of your favorite kind of aspects of working for Xbox?
I think it's a good question. I really like a lot of different things about it, but I think the thing that really motivates me is hearing from the players and the fans. And when I work on something, I'll be able to get feedback and use that to essentially help our team decide what's important to work on and things like that. So I think that's a big part of it. I think the other big piece that I really enjoy is just how collaborative it is, and how, like I was saying before, it's really a group of people coming together to do so much more than we could do individually.
No, thank you for that. Yeah, just like amazing of your day-to-day job here. I just want to give a shout out. We have a number of students joining today. We have a Michael and a Maya and a Caleb. What advice, a great question coming in here, is what advice do you have for someone that might be interested in having a career at Microsoft or Xbox or in Minecraft EDU? What might be some great things to keep in mind, like school wise or like skill set? Any advice you could give to them?
There's really a lot of pathways you can go. Obviously, one of the big things that we're doing here is coding in Python, and I think coding is a really great skill to have, no matter what you're interested in and focused on, because it's really about taking a complex problem and breaking it down into pieces and learning how to problem solve. And especially if you're doing that with your friends in groups on teams, that's a really, really great experience that will sort of carry forward to the kinds of work that I do in my day to day as well.
Well, thank you, Apurva. Now we have a question specific to what we're doing today. And have you ever completed an escape room or a digital escape room?
Yeah, I have. I've done this one, and I've also done a couple of ones with my friends, um, with like all sorts of different puzzles, and some of them were like in actual rooms, and some of them were like a kit of different puzzles. But it's always been a lot of fun.
Ah, I love it. So no spoilers for today though. If you are, but have you done all three pathways? Like have you done
I
the
have.
ooh, amazing. And what's your go-to? You've done it in the Python as well?
Yeah, I did it in both blocks. Some of them in blocks and some of them in Python. It's always fun to try different ones.
Oh, I love it. I love it. So you have like some good insider information to our escape room today. Now, students, let us know in the forum if you've ever completed an escape room or a digital escape room. I know we have Damon joining. He's been in an escape room, but never a Minecraft one. And Theo, he's done some escape rooms, only virtual ones. And Mrs. C is like, yes, we love escape rooms. So students, keep those coming um, in the form. Now, we also have another question for you to be thinking about, students, and keep using that form, the cc.page/Minecraft. And this kind of theme of debugging is going to come up a little bit in the estate escape today. And Dan, maybe I'll put you on the spot to start here. But what do you think it means to debug something?
So debugging, typically, in my experience in the past, it's been looking at scripts, looking for errors that I've probably created, and trying to identify them and then fix them. But it's a cross-platform thing. Like it can also that same logic can apply to your own life and real life circumstances and other things of that nature as well.
Oh, I mean, and Apurva, in your day-to-day job, like at Xbox, what are some experiences that you might have with debugging?
Yeah, so I do debugging all the time in the work that I do. And often especially when no matter what size of project you're working on, little or big, there's going to be something you do where you set up something or you look at some code that's already there, and something doesn't quite work the way that you want it to. And the first step is identifying what the problem is, and then you go in, and sometimes it's trial and error, sometimes you know right away what to do, but you use all of the tools in your toolbox to try to figure out how to fix that problem.
And I love that, just like utilizing different strategies. And I love the critical thinking that goes along with debugging and the fact that you can just try out different things. We're getting a few really great responses in the forum. We have Caleb says that it means to get rid of like a glitch. We have Aaliyah to get rid of something that shouldn't be there. And Remy is to fix problems in coding or like visuals in games. And we love those. Those are all really great answers. So thank you for continuing to use the floor. I think we have an opportunity to ask Apurva. So if you have a question for Apurva, now remember, she works for Microsoft and Xbox. So let her know if you have a question that she can answer for you all. I am loving, just want to give a shout out to Michael and Tori and Carmel and Eduardo. They're just really excited to get into the estate escape today. Maybe a question coming in from Ahmad here, Apurva, is what is your just favorite part of your day-to-day job?
Honestly, like there's I'll give an answer that's kind of two parts. And it ties in really well to what we're going to be working on. I really love debugging. I really love when something actually ends up going wrong and I have to, start to try to figure out. And it is a lot like a puzzle. And I really love solving puzzles. And I think the second part of that is it's really fun to also, if you haven't done it before, do it with friends, do it on a team. Sometimes you can solve problems on your own, and that's always a really great feeling. But also sometimes the challenges are so big and they cover so many things, and getting to sort of talk through a puzzle with your friends and figure out, how might we approach solving this. Um, I think that's a really great one.
Well, thank you for that response, Apurva. We also have a question coming in from Eduardo here. Do you have tips to people trying to move from Python to Java?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think, and I'm going to be a little bit general here because I think this answer will be pretty helpful. But in general, when you're moving from one programming language to another, um, it's really, I think the first step is to figure out what parts are the same and what parts are different. And once you sort of start exploring, you'll find that some things stay the same no matter what. And that tends to be things like the underlying logic you use, the strategies that you use, um, some commonalities around the way you organize the code. And there will be things that are different. Syntax is a very obvious one. Maybe as you go further, it might be things like how memory is handled, what things are more performant. And if you start using like different external libraries, you're going to have to learn new ones. But I think keeping an open mind, playing around with it, and starting to like maybe even write down, hey, this part's the same, this part's different, can really help you um, get into a new programming language more easily.
Oh, perfect. And Apurva, if it's okay with you, we have one last kind of burning question from Caleb here. And he wants to know, like, specifically, what do you get to do at Xbox? Are you more connected to, like, the console, or are you more connected to, like, the games?
So right now, I'm more connected to the console itself, and I work on sort of the apps that are on your console and what that experience is like. And I look a lot at accessibility in that space. When I'm going to be moving over to the Minecraft team, I'll be working obviously on games themselves. So I count myself very lucky that I get to have both of those experiences.
And Apurva, we've been so very lucky to have you on the call today. We appreciate you just sharing your expertise and our knowledge with us. And we've been so fortunate to have someone from Xbox and Minecraft on this call. And we wish you the best of luck in your new upcoming Minecraft journey. Thank you for spending time with us today.
Of course. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, students, how lucky are we to have Apurva on the call today? So just a reminder of our escape room today. We've met a Minecrafter. We met Apurva. So cool. In just a minute, we're going to be jumping into our escape with Dr. Breakhowski's estate. A reminder that we are doing the green pathway today, and our focus is Python. And at the end of our experience today, we'll be able to reflect on our experiences and, maybe celebrate our learning just a little bit. Now, students, it is time to start loading up your Minecraft EDU. On the load screen here, it is located under New and Featured. All the hour of code is in there. Absolutely love it. You are going to look for that icon there. I love, you can see like the code agent and the little mystery. We've highlighted it there in green for you. So yours won't be green until you kind of click on it and select on it. So go ahead and click on it, and then you will click create worlds, and it'll just take a couple minutes to load up the world. So just reminding you that this is located under new and featured. It's called Hour of Code Escape Estate, and go ahead and click create worlds. Now, teachers and students, this is a really great time. Pause us on this YouTube live. Make sure all your students are able to access Minecraft EDU. Hopefully it's already downloaded on all those devices, but pause here, make sure everyone is up and running, and then join us for the next steps. So we want to just welcome everyone to the Hour of Code 2022. There is a tutorial available. We won't be doing it today, but we just wanted to let you know that there is a built-in tutorial. And if you were maybe interested in doing it, now again would be a great time to pause this recording if you want to try it out with your students. But there is a really great tutorial. So again, teachers and students, pause this recording right here if you want to go through the tutorial. Dan will be joining us on screen shortly with his Minecraft world to show you everything you need to know. But if you do want to build in some time for that tutorial, you are more than welcome to.
All right. So, and just a quick reminder, you do not require a licensed Minecraft account to play Hour of Code Escape Estate. You can play that totally for free without logging in. Okay, and before I jump in here, I'm just going to quickly introduce you. You may not have seen it before, Immersive Readers. So if you click on this button here, this is a really cool and absolutely amazing accessibility tool. So it will actually read all of the non-player character script for us. It also reads slates, posters, and boards. So if you press I while looking at a sign or a poster or a board in Minecraft, it will open up Immersive Reader that way too, other than the little book icon on the screen for the NPC. And you can change the voice speed, you can change the voice selection, and you can even change the font size. If you've been reading all day, like sometimes I have, my eyes get a little bit sore, so I might want to change the background a little bit. I can activate syllables here. And other really cool things it does line focus. Again, if I've been reading a lot and my eyes are tired, the line focus really helps. It even translates languages. So you can scroll down here and there's tons, literally tons of different languages that you can pick from. And if I toggle on document, it will translate the whole document to French, but it will also, when I click play, it will read it in French as well. So tons of languages in there. If you want to get out of Immersive Reader, you can click the arrow here up the top left corner and it will get you out of Immersive Reader. And there's that button again, just in the NPC portrait screen. So I'm working on a PC here, so I'm going to click keyboard and optimize it for my PC. And then we can walk up to the poster here. And I'm going to right click with my mouse. If you're using a Chromebook, that's going to be what we call the snake bite, which is a 2-finger tap on your mouse pad. Or alternatively, you can hold down the control button and tap your mouse pad with 1 finger. If you're using an iPad, I always get the two confused. I think it's an extra long press and hold to do a right click, or it's a single tap to do a left click, or that might be reversed. I always get those two confused because I haven't played on an iPad for a very long while.
So students, you are just going to love every single detail in this Minecraft world. So welcome to Escape Estate.
And I am going to skip that tutorial. All right, here we go.
So, Dr. Brakowski, hello, I'm Dr. Dodge Brakowski. I see you've received my invitation. Do you think you have what it takes to escape the mansion by dawn and claim the 1 million emeralds? Excellent. Now head to the front door to begin our challenge. Now, students, watch out for the front door. Dan, we've just been swallowed whole.
All right. Okay, so we're looking around the room here and we're looking for sparkle effects. We're looking for particles. And here we have a lost diary over here. So I'm going to right click on that. And I'm going to read this diary.
You have found a lost diary. Can you find all 10 missing pages as you explore the mansion? So students, be on the lookout for these missing pages.
Okay.
And it says, so this is entry number 1 from the attic. Dear Diary, last week I received an invitation from some mystery person challenging me to escape this mansion. The note said that if I escaped by dawn, I'd win 1,000,000 emeralds. Though I didn't need the emeralds, I thought a challenge like this would make a great video for my channel. However, when I arrived here, I was gobbled up by the mansion. I know that doesn't make sense, but it's the truth. I swear. When I came to, I found myself in this attic. There are 3 locked doors. One of them must be the way out. I just need to figure out how to open them. Well, Dan, I don't know about you, but I love a good challenge.
Okay. Another particle effect going on here. So let's walk over.
Hello, is someone there? Oh my, a human. Do you think you could help me? I can't seem to open this floor vent. I think my code may be broken. Do you think you could take a look and see what's wrong with it? Great. If you can help me get out of here, I will return the favor and help you escape the attic. Which programming language would you like to use? So students, just a reminder, we will be doing Python today, but you are welcome to choose whatever you would like. But just letting you know, we are doing the green pathway today, and we will be using Python. So teachers and students, this is a great time. Pause this video, make sure everyone has selected their programming language. Python does tend to be just slightly more advanced than block-based coding, so just keep that in mind. And if you would like links to the other one, they're located under this video. But pause here for everyone to select their coding language, and then we'll keep going. Okay, first, see that cursor over there on the floor? It needs to move forward 3 blocks to reach the trap door, but it isn't working. Press C to view the code and then run the code to see what's wrong. So we're going to have, I think, Dan, a little bit of debugging to do.
Yes. Okay. So typically when I'm in Minecraft and I'm trying to debug a problem that I can see on one part of my screen, I kind of try to shift over as much as possible so I have room for my coding window. So I've got the cursor on the floor there. So let's type C to open up our coding. All right. So this is our sample code down here. So move cursor orange, move cursor orange, move cursor orange, open trap door. So let's try running and see what happens right now. Okay.
Oh, no, that's not quite right. The cursor needs to move to the trapdoor and tell it to open. Ooh, so maybe that's a hint with our Python code, Dan, that we need to have something that tells that trapdoor to open.
Okay, so now it says open trapdoor here for our code. So let's try running that again and see if that works. No. Okay. Move cursor orange, open trapdoor. Execute successfully. Move the cursor so it's positioned over the trapdoor. Let out the agent who's trapped underneath. Okay.
So it looks like we're doing our Python code. We need our orange cursor to move forward 3. I believe that's correct, Dan. And then we need to somehow tell our Python code to open that door.
Oh, you know what? I'm looking here at the top, and there's a little bit of a hint here. So I'm missing something. I'm missing brackets here. Now, there we go.
Yay! You know what? I love the debugging that you did there, Dan, and that's the key. We try it out, we see what works, and we can always use those hints. Now our agent has a message. It says, "Great, it's open. That's strange. I still can't seem to get out. Can you check the code again and make sure I'm moving up 2 doors?" So our code agent has opened the trap door, but we need to get them kind of back on the main level. Is that correct, Dan?
That's right. We need to move them, looks like about 2 up. So agent move up, and we could do, I'm just going to select this, and then I'm going to use my keyboard shortcuts, Control C.
So Control C to copy and then pasting it again for them to move up again?
Control V. So I'm doing it twice here. Agent move up, agent move up. So that should get it to move up twice.
Woohoo! Thank you. You fixed my code. Now I'm in range to open the green door for you because that's what we're doing today. We're doing the green pathway. The path behind the green door is an easier one. You can take that path or talk to me again if you want to try opening the yellow door. Now, remember, we're not opening the yellow door in this lesson. The link to that is below, but we are doing the green pathway.
Okay, so
teachers and students, this is an opportunity to pause this lesson, make sure everyone's had a chance to open and close that trap door, and get their code agent ready to enter into the green pathway. Now, wait. Before you go, I need to tell you one last thing. This house is filled with escape rooms. You'll need to find clues, solve puzzles, and fix code to make your way out. Press C to reveal a puzzle's code. Run the code to see what happens. If there are errors, fix the code and run it again to test it. That's called debugging. All right, I'm ready for these challenges. And students, just a heads up, Dan has already gone through the green doorway. So I just want to give you a heads up that we're already in. We're in the green door. So make sure you go through the green pathway. Now it says sometimes solutions won't be clear and not all puzzles take code to solve. When you find a puzzle, remember to run the code first because they will always give us kind of little pieces of the code to build on. Then debug it and fix the faulty code. It's much easier than writing code from scratch. So they're going to be giving us some great hints. Keep an eye out for clues such as particles to help guide you. Ooh, I can't wait for this escape room.
Okay. Oh, I see right away. I see another journal entry here. So I'm going to grab that.
Ooh, entry number 2, the study. Dear Diary, I finally found a way out of the attic, only to become trapped in this strange library. I do believe the large mirror here is more than it seems. Oh, I love all the mysterious objects in here. It is truly a mirror. Is it truly a mirror? A window to another dimension? Regardless, I have no option other than to press forward and see where it takes me. Ooh.
Okay. Interesting. What's going on here? Do we see any sparkle effects? I'm looking around for some. Oh, there it is.
So Dan has right-clicked on that. Ooh, and it's dropped that down. And Dan, this is where I always like to just take a look at what is in there. So it looks like we have like a maroon plate, a gold plate, and that's our coal, I believe. Am I correct? In the middle.
Mm-hmm. So that's our agent, currently disguised as a terracotta ball of some sort. So press C to code and see what we do. So let's do the clay ball maze. Move the clay ball to the gold block. Use the clay ball move brackets function to navigate the ball through the maze. Function takes one parameter that defines the direction it should move in. Valid directions are up, down, left, right. Okay. So this is actually where if you have a pad of paper and a pencil or a pen, it's going to be really handy to mark down where we need to move this object to and how we're going to move it and how many spaces we're going to move it to. So a pad of paper will be really helpful to note that down as we're going through it, and it'll also help me cross-reference if I make any mistakes along the way. So let's see here. We'll run the code as it exists right now. Okay, so it's only gone.
Looks like it went up about 3, I think.
Now I can see here they're using a loop here for I in range of 3. So it's that's a loop, and it's repeating that action of moving the clay ball up 3 times. So 1, 2, 3. So 3 is where we want to get it. And sorry, remind me, Emma, we're moving to the gold block, correct?
Yeah, so it looks like we need to maybe go up 1 more, because I think it has it going up 3, but maybe we need to go up 4 so we can kind of get over that wall.
Okay, so let's try. Okay, and we have other code down here too. So let's see how that code runs. Oh, and it's gone the opposite way. So now this is the code written out the long way, and this is the code written with a loop. So you know what? I'm gonna get adventurous, and I'm gonna use a loop here to save my typing. So
And while Dan is kind of checking out his code, I want to just give a shout out. We have a Naruto, and Alexa, Michael, and Jaden. They are just loving these challenges, and I know they really enjoyed our speaker, Apurva, today. So keep going with these challenges. You're welcome to keep us in the know of how your challenges are going through the form, and we'll check back with you shortly.
And if you are using a loop, and if you've not used Python before, you need to indent your line under the loop. So this one, it's over near the 1. This one, I've used my tab to move this line, the clay ball, move up over. So anything under that that's moved over is considered part of that loop. Any line here that's not got an indentation is not considered part of the loop. So I've got a loop here, does that, loop here, does that, then it goes back and it will run those separately. So I'm moving twice, and then I've got to move down 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to put it in another loop here. Let's move back there. I don't want a loop within a loop right now. That would make things messy. And down. And then I'm going to get rid of the rest of those. I could do it without the loops too. I could just do it as move up, move up, move up, move up, move up, over, move down, move down, move down. But I'm going to save myself some typing here, and I'm going to try it with loops this time. I might write it out the long way next time, just as an example. Oh, I've got an extra character in there. And run. Let's see what happens here. Oh, I went the wrong way.
That's okay, Dan. That totally happens. That's why we debug. That's the beauty of debugging.
I always get myself my left and right a little bit confused in Minecraft from time to time. So I do have to remember to do this in my chair to orientate myself. All right, so I'm going to change that to right, and now we're going to run. There we go. I love that graphic. I think that is so cool. Okay, now search the room for particles. Okay. Emma, do you see any particles in the room?
Okay, well, I'm looking around, but we can keep exploring. I do see a lever, though. I don't know if maybe that lever, because I do notice one is up and one is down.
Oh, you know what? The mirror's changed. It was all dark before. Now it's got a mirror image of the room in it.
And look, if you look in the mirror image, look at the lever. It's sparkling.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe
Okay,
that's giving us a hint to maybe the lever that's up. Should we try that one?
So yeah, it looks like if that one's that one there. So that's, oh, look at that on. And that one is over there.
And I noticed that they've lit up. And now look, you have the pumpkins over the fireplace.
Okay, so on this side of the fireplace, I have 3 pumpkins. On this side of the fireplace, I have
I know,
5
but
pumpkins.
Dan, your particles are now around your pumpkins.
So I'm suspecting I'm going to have to place a bunch of pumpkins here to match what's on the other side of the room. But we'll press C to get our instructions. It's always very important. I'm really guilty of this. I don't always read the instructions very carefully. I tend to just skip through them, which is bad because then I end up not being able to do what I was trying to do and having to go back. So always read your instructions.
All right. So it says a wrong reflection. Things in the mirror appear differently than in the room you're in. Find all the differences, and modify the room to make them match. So we're going to use our cursor, and I love this color coding on the cursor. So orange will be moving us up. Magenta will help move us down. Blue is going to help us left, and yellow will help move us right. So we're going to have to make some observations and adjust our code accordingly.
Okay. So pro tip, use for loop to do one of the multiple actions. Activity. Look into the mirror and pay attention to the design blocks above the fireplace. Okay, let's run the code as it exists right now. So it's got a loop in here. So we're placing a block, and that's going to move cursor blue, and that'll be 3 times, and then place a block. So let's see what happens here when I run that code. Oh, okay. Let's see if I can sort this.
Dan, tell us about some of the code you think you're going to add to help debug this.
Well, I'm adding a place block within the loop because it's moving. It's already got one placed. Let's just double check that. Oh, yeah, so it's going to place one where that's hovering right now where it's empty. And then we're going to move 3 and place 3 because it was just moving before. And I'm just going to switch the side here. So I'm going to click my sandwich button here, and I can flip the window to the other side to get an idea. Okay, so it's going blue in the code. So that's correct. It's moving in the right direction. I'm going to flip that back now. And we need to place a block at the end. So I need another line of code in here. And I need to move again. So okay, I think that looks good. So we'll give that a go.
Oh, look at that.
All right, I got it.
Yay, Dan, way to go. So now our job, we've solved that puzzle. We're going to look around for some particles, and we have some in that mirror again. And the mirror, it looks like it's been broken.
I'm looking for more particles. Oh, okay, we've got another challenge over here. Click the particles. Okay.
So
I can't get over that fast. So let's see the code. I bet it has something to do with this Speedy Night.
So you'll need to flip all 4 levers to open the door, but you're not quick enough to do it manually. See if you can figure it out. The order they need to be flipped, then program your new friend, the Speedy Knight, to do it for us.
Okay.
I love this.
Okay.
So, Dan, should we run it to see?
Yes. Let's run the code right now as it exists. Okay. Oh, wow, that worked.
Wow. Thank
So
you,
I guess
Minecraft EDU, for that nice puzzle.
so that one we didn't need to be debug. It actually worked right off the first time. Okay, and that's actually a really important point that I have encountered in my own work with scripting. I've been working on something and I'm like, you know what? I bet this is wrong. I better go and fix it before I've even tested it. And it really shows you that you should always test your code first before you go and start playing with it. So even break it up into little parts. Run one section of the code first to see how it runs, then add in the next section. So break things apart and definitely test the code before you start playing with it, because sometimes you may have actually done your job exactly right, and you're just making things more complex for yourself by not testing it.
And that I
Okay.
think that happens with coding a lot, Dan, is
Oh yeah.
sometimes we just overthink it. And
Yeah.
that's why it's always a good to run the code. Now, students, I'm going to remind you, because this Minecraft ED world is just the coolest thing ever. Take the time to truly look around. There's so many amazing details. We've also been tipped off from Minecraft EDU that as you solve puzzles, things might change in rooms. So always be on the lookout. And we've got another diary page. It says entry number 3, the kitchen. Dear diary, today I stumbled upon a large dining area. Here I found a frightening creature looming in the kitchen, seemingly oblivious of my presence. When I gained the courage to speak with the chef, it only groaned, "Bread! Dare I help this ghoulish cook? Perhaps if I do, it can show me the way out." Ooh, I'm kind of scared to see this cook.
Normally in survival mode, I spend most of my time being pushed into lava pits by unsympathetic zombies.
Look
All
at that
right.
zombie chef. Okay,
Yeah.
let's see.
Okay. He's a bit more friendly than most of the zombies in Minecraft. Okay, so let's see here. We have to... Okay, let's press C to code and get our instructions.
So the zombie chef needs help making bread. Oh, right. Well, I like bread. Use the functions below to create a bread recipe the zombie chef can follow. There are 4 functions available that represent the different steps in baking bread. So I think it looks like we have some harvest. We need to harvest the wheat, bake the bread, bake dough, and I'm not something. Oh, mill the wheat.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is our sample code here. So let's see what happens when I run that code. Oh, okay. So let's go
I
back.
have a feeling this might be a
coding.
reordering thing, Dan, because I'm pretty sure you would need to mill the wheat before you make the dough.
So I'm going to click on the end here, press enter to add a line. And yes, we need to mill our wheat. So Control C to copy, select my blank line, Control V to paste. So harvest wheat, mill wheat, make dough, and then I'll get rid of that mill wheat line there, number 6. And let's click run. See if we get it this time. All right.
We
Oh,
did
that opened up.
it! Ooh, I think I saw more than one zombie chef there.
So yeah, there's multiples. Okay, so there's a sequence occurring here, but let's press C again to read our instructions.
So it says feed the house. The house is hungry, and what better way to feed it than apples, salmon, and mushroom stew? That sounds pretty good. See if you can figure out how many of each ingredient the house requires. Use the feed house function to define what items you to decide what items you want to feed it. So it looks like, yeah, we have the apples, the mushrooms, and the salmon.
Now I'm just going to write that down. So we've got 3 apples. We've got 4. Was that 4 salmon?
Yeah, 4 salmon. And
2 soup.
I don't know if this connects, but I was kind of checking out those zombie chefs, and I do see that there's a group of 2 of them, like a pair of them, 3 of them, and then 4 of them. So I can see that they correspond to our ingredients.
Okay, so let's try running the code and see what happens.
And students, we'll just give you a heads up. We're about the 20 minutes of coding left. Hope you're doing great on your challenges. You might be further along than us, and that's fine. We love it.
Let's try this other code in here. And we have a similar issue, I think. No, all right. No, okay. So, and you'll see that big red cross symbol up there indicating that the code that we've run has failed. So we do have to go back this time and check it. So I'm going to go down to this this one here. Oh, this says syntax error, invalid syntax. Let's have a look here. Oh, looking at my example up here, I can tell. So if I try to run this right now, so there's actually 3 versions of this code here. And it's not even going to run because there's an error here. So there is a syntax error. That means there is an item missing from it. And I can see what it is. So I'm going to add it in here because I'm looking at it and the numbers in the loops are correct. So 3 apples, 4 salmon, 2 mushrooms, 2. But it's missing the colons on the end of our loops. I think that's all the things that are missing from our syntax error. So we'll run that. Oh, it's running now. So it is. I've corrected the syntax error. I tend to make those a lot myself when I'm doing any script coding. I will often miss 1 colon in a big long script, and then I've got to sit there and I've got to stare at it and my eyes get sore. And then that's when I ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask for help. I will have a friend come come over and sit down and have a quick look at it to see if I've missed something subtle like that. And they usually, because they haven't been staring at it all day, when they sit down and look at it, they go, "Oh, you missed a colon there." I'm like, "Oh, of course I did." So always have a fresh pair of eyes available potentially to give you a hand, or even your own eyes can be your fresh pair of eyes. Just take a wee break, go get a glass of water, go for a little walk, grab some, take a couple of breaths of fresh air, because otherwise you're going to get frustrated. Because I've done that. I've sat and I haven't had somebody available at the time, and I've sat there looking at code all day, and I've got really, really frustrated about it. So make sure you're taking a break if you're getting a little frustrated. So we've got to look for some more sparkle effects here, and I see some over here. So I think this one's going to be kind of challenging because I think we have to. I've seen puzzles like this before. You've got to shift the plates around to the right person. So let's see what it says.
So plate swap. The silly zombie chef gave everyone the wrong meals. Oh, that silly zombie chef. See if you can figure out who wants what meal. Use the swap plates function to swap the plates on either side of the tablecloth. You decide. All right, so our colors are orange, blue, yellow, and magenta. So let's start swapping. Well, let's first run the code. And then it's always a good idea. Maybe, Dan, we should take a look at what plates are where.
So let's see. We've got looks like some sort of slate colored fish or something in front of the skeleton. We've got, what is it? Zombie flesh or zombie flesh in front of the creeper. We've got like a green something, green drumstick in front of that skeleton, and we've got some, looks like bone meal, I think, in front of the zombie. So I'm going to think that the bone meal needs to go to this skeleton. That needs to go over there. The green one probably needs to go to the creeper, and the zombie is probably happier with the zombie flesh. So go back to coding and see what we can do here. So let's run the code as we have it right now.
Oh, and it swapped. Oh, swapped some of them.
So yeah, they're not happy with what they've got there. So let's see. I'm gonna swap. Let's swap the blue one first. Okay, so that's up there, and then that gives the bone meal to the skeleton properly. And then I'm gonna want to swap yellow. No, I'm gonna do. You know what? I'm gonna do magenta first, and then I'm gonna do yellow. Okay, get rid of that.
And students, if you're ever not sure, just experiment, move around the different colors.
Yeah.
Sometimes these challenges can take me a few tries, and that's totally fine. So Dan has swapped some out, and whoa, Dan, it looks like you have some people really happy with their meals. And so we're looking for particles, and we're going into another room.
Okay, here. All right. This is a big room.
And a beautiful room. Oh, we have
looks like there's going to be multiple. Oh, look there. There we have a diary page.
We have a diary. Entry number 4. We're in the parlor. Dear diary, the large door in this foyer looks like it could lead out of the mansion. But how does one open it? Could this chessboard unlock the door? Surely there must be clues lying about. I've come too far to go back now. Ooh, so maybe something with the chessboard, Dan.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's always good to look around the room too, because I do see that there's some particles to your left, Dan, over by the books. I think those are books, the library. So we do have some particles there, but I love exploring these rooms in the estate escape. There's so many beautiful details.
Okay, so we're going to press C to code. Let's read our instructions.
So it says bookcase staircase, and I think the particles kind of hinted at that. There seems to be something at the top of the bookcase. See if you could create a way to go up there. Use the move cursor to position the cursor and place blocks to place a block in your selected position.
Okay. So we've got some sample code here. So let's try running this one.
Dan, should we take a look at the bookcase? We'll see our blocks here. But this is sometimes where I get my piece of paper out and I kind of like map out, because it looks like we need to go over 3, I think up 1, over 2. I always kind of, if I can see that the particles are hinting at something, you might want to just take a note of that.
Yeah. Oh.
Look at that.
It did it for us again. So this one did not need to be debugged.
Well, thank you, Bookshelf, for that magical staircase. I love, though, there's a number of challenges in this digital escape room that when you solve it, it gives it a new pathway. Ooh, and
where'd it go?
It has given us a chess piece, I believe.
Okay, so yeah, the queen's taken the rook. And there's another puzzle here.
Oh, look at that. There's a puzzle in the wall. This kind of is giving me some survivor vibes. I don't know about you, Dan, but we're going to be, I think, moving those blocks around to form an image.
Okay, so push left, push up. Let's try these codes here and see what happens. That
Just
did
a
not
shout
work.
out to Sequoia. She was able to finish the green pathway and is now trying another one, which is amazing. And we actually have some students on our session today, all the way from Egypt. So welcome. We hope that you're loving it. And Fatima, I know these challenges can be a little hard. Even just doing one, don't feel that you have to keep the same pace as us. We're just showing things out, but don't give up. Coding is a beautifully, magically frustrating thing at times, and that's fine. So students, a heads up, we're about 10 minutes left of coding today on this session, and make sure to stay with us. We have some great ways to wrap up our learning today with this digital escape room.
Oh, I have a syntax error there. Let's see here. Oh, I'm missing a bracket. Okay, let's try that. Oh, something didn't work there. Can you see on my last line, it says problem. So if I hover over it, it says problem, no quick fixes available, syntax error. So like in a Word document or something like that, it's got a red line under it indicating that there's a syntax error there. So what am I missing? Oh, I know what I'm missing. Question mark. Try that. There we go.
Ooh, and it made a chess piece. Oh, we got the king.
All right, let's right click the king. Oh, it's got a wee creeper face on it.
And the king takes the bishop. It's like playing our chessboard for us. I love it.
Oh, cool. Oh, that's a ghast there, and that's a creeper. I hadn't noticed that. That is very cool.
Well, and
Let's
they
walk
might
under
be
the carpet.
changing because remember, Dan, there's little subtle changes in this Minecraft world after we create puzzles. So that's why it's always neat to look around.
Yeah, let's look around the room. Okay, so King's birthday, April 1st. Okay. Oh, I like the candle. Oh, it lit up. That's very cool. And let's go see this side. Critical pieces of the puzzle, I think. Okay, Queen's birthday, May 4th. So we've got to move, I'm assuming, the Queen to May 4th and the King to April 1st. I'm going to write that down because I can't see that sign from where
And
I'm
I
standing.
do notice, Dan, this is where it might be a really good idea just to slow down sometimes and really see this puzzle. I do see that there's some months built in kind of that far side of the chessboard. So I see the dates on one side, so 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And then I see January, February, March, April, May. And then, of course, we have our queen and our king. So sometimes I just take a minute to, make some observations. It's always a good idea to help our coding because Minecraft is really clever with the little details that they put in, like anything. Because it's a digital escape room, so many different things can be a clue.
All right, so 5x5 grid. Let's read our instructions.
So, chess pieces. You freed the king and queen, but the doors isn't opening. They must be in the wrong positions. Move them into the correct position so you can finally escape this place. Use the move chess piece function to move the king and queen into the correct positions. Ooh, this is also giving me a little Harry Potter vibes because he had to play a game of chess to escape as well.
Okay.
Maybe I'll have to ask like a perva. Maybe there is a little Harry Potter inspiration in this world as well. So should we run, Dan? Should we run our code just to see and then?
Yeah, so let's run the top one and see what happens, and then we'll run the other ones too. Nope, don't like that one.
So do you think, Dan, I'm just kind of thinking out loud here. Do you think we need to line it up? Because I can see as we move it, it's changing the month and the day. So we might need to go back to those birthday cakes because I think this is almost like a Cartesian plane where we need to line up the day. So I'm just going to make a little note here. The king was April 1st.
That's right.
And the queen is May 4th. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The queen is May 4th. So if I go back to that chessboard, I think I need to get the king. So if I'm looking where my king is, and Dan, if you can just back up a little bit. So our king from where it is now needs to go to the left one, right? To get it in line with April. And then I think forward, what do you think? You'd say 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 to get it
That's
in line
right.
with the first.
Mm-hmm.
So should we try coding that? We need somehow the king to move left 1 and forward 4, or the reverse. You can always do forward 4. You can choose the order, but maybe we can try that for the king.
Okay. Let's flip the window here so we see the king. Okay, so the code here, and move them so they don't bump into each other. Okay, so move forward 4, orange, 1, 2, 3, 4. So they've got that okay. Move the chess piece king blue, and then would move 1 over. So that would put it at April 1st. So that is the correct position for the king. So the code's good there so far. So we'll check the queen now.
So the queen, can we just look at the chessboard and so the queen right now is lined up with January 5th, but we need the queen to be May the 4th. So we need the queen to move right 4, I think.
So yellow 4.
And what, orange 1? I think forward 1.
Yes, orange forward 1. So that code looks like it could work, actually. Okay. Let's try running that code and see what happens.
And the way we've done it, I don't think they'll run into each other, which is
no.
Yay!
Oh, okay, so the code was okay. It didn't need any extra fixing.
And look at that, everyone. We look like, I think we might have escaped, I don't know. Dr. Prakowski! Hello again. It looks like you did it. You managed to make your way through the mansion. Bravo! We knew you could do it. In fact, we were counting on it. Dan, I'm so proud of us. All right. So now, teachers and students, this is a great time to just pause and make sure everyone has been able to escape. See if you can defeat the time agents and secure the time orb. The rooms that you need to go through are the attic, the study, the kitchen, and the parlor. So pause here if you need some more time to escape from Dr. Prakowski. So our route today, what we did today, we met a Minecrafter. So we met a perva that worked with Xbox, but is now moving over to Minecraft. How she got to do 2 amazing things as part of her career, I don't know. We are able to escape Dr. Brakowski's estate. We did the green path and we did it with Python. If you're curious about the other pathways, remember they're linked under this video. We would love for you to celebrate your success. This certificate should pop up when you exit. Just simply click Get Certificate, and you will be able to celebrate your learning and your great coding work as part of Minecraft's Hour of Code. Be sure to get your certificate. You all should be very, very proud of your hard work and doing these different challenges. So teachers and students, pause here until everyone's had a chance to get their certificate. It's nice to acknowledge the accomplishments, especially I know a number of you were new to coding today. So I love that you just had that growth mindset and you're open to tackling all these different challenges. And I love that I've been able to work with my friend Dan as a team and work through these challenges. You're always more than welcome to keep coding. You can pause this. You can put us on hold. If you just have one more left and you want to escape, that's fine. Just put us on pause. We'll be here ready for you on YouTube Live. But for the rest of you, if you want to keep going, we're going to move on to just our final reflections. And we have a couple of questions just to finish off. We would absolutely love to hear from you. I know Minecraft is always a little curious too, because they spend so long designing these rooms, but we would love to know what was the hardest room to escape from. And Dan, I know you've had even more experience than me in this estate escape. What would you say was the hardest challenge that we did today on that green pathway?
Yeah, there were quite a few of them that were a little bit more challenging, like that dining room one with all the different puzzles, and that was definitely very challenging, especially the like just trying to sit there and figure out which creature was supposed to get which dinner. That was really challenging. But that was
Yeah,
also, I think that was the most fun one because it was really hard. It's good to have a good
totally.
challenge.
And I think something that was maybe something challenging for me when I went through this is some of the challenges required you to be kind of looking in different spots. Kind of the
Hmm.
chessboard was a great one because we collected the queen and we collected the king, and then we had to find the birthday cakes and then look for those clues hidden around the chessboard. So I would say that one was one that I maybe found with, but just because there was different
Hmm.
components. Um, I want to just give a shout out to Briss. I hope I'm saying that correct. She thought the hardest was probably the chess piece as well, and the pumpkin room. And I would say that one kind of made us think a little bit too, because we had to be able to spot a hint through the mirror, and I don't think that was necessarily something really obvious right away.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah.
So thank you for that. And Minecraft, I want to give you a shout out because I love, that's the beauty of escape rooms is clues aren't necessarily always going to be made really clear for you. I think that's the beauty of it is looking around and looking those subtle differences. So students, we have another question for you. And maybe we'd love to know some of your strategies for debugging the code. Were you like Dan and I? Were we ran the code first? Did you observe first? Let us know some of your strategies for debugging the code. We'd love to hear from you. Dan, what is kind of one of your strategies for debugging? What's your go-to?
Test first. Always test first, and then go back and potentially break it down into smaller chunks. And the fresh eyes are really important there. So make sure you're taking time to digest what you're looking at, and that you're not already in a worked up, frustrated state, because you're not going to make anything better if you're frustrated. You're only probably I know personally I've made things worse. So
Yeah.
you need to take that little break or ask for somebody to come and look at it with you to help you along there. So those are some of the strategies that I use.
No, I love it. Avery has a great strategy of using that pen and paper. I know I use that strategy a lot. Definitely a very visual person.
Hmm.
So I like to just like keep, especially when it comes to challenges like the staircase, I would need to write down, what I needed to move. And Mateus
Hmm.
has a really great one of, don't be afraid to go back and reread the instructions. I know I always spot little things every time. And students, I think we have just kind of one more question to finish off today. And that was, what did you enjoy about this lesson? Or what was the best part about this lesson? I have to confess, Dan, I really thought the use of the mirror was really cool.
Yeah, that is a really neat feature that they've I mean, like, there was just so many different kinds of puzzles, right? So you weren't getting the same kind of puzzle over and over again with increasing complexity. You were getting very different problems that you had to think differently about each time. It was working sort of different muscles in your brain. I think that I enjoyed it overall just because of that.
Yeah, it was definitely a really dynamic escape room. I love how it kind of caught you off guard and how things changing and things are moving, and I love that anticipation of just knowing how different each room can be, and the different challenges that they offer. Like that zombie chef was quite a intriguing character
Yeah.
in there. A shout out to Brandon. He liked how challenging it was. He's always up for a good challenge. So Brandon, I'm glad that you loved it. We've had a blast with you today in the Estate Escape, the Green Pathway. We're really proud of all of you. We've enjoyed our time with you. And at this time, we're going to turn you back over to your teachers for your next step. But great work, everyone. We hope to see you all again soon.
Bye, everyone.